Hello little artists, today we're going to be practicing our cutting skills and we're going to need some scissors, some glue or a glue stick, and some type of paper. You can have scrap paper that maybe somebody's drawn on or folded that you can't use for anything else. You could use some old scrapbooking paper, some scrapbooking scraps that have already been cut up. You could even use newspaper. I like to use newspaper for this project because if you make mistakes, you're not really worried about wasting paper. You could practice on the newspaper or even magazines, and then when you get better at this skill, you could switch over to some construction paper. So once you get all of these items gathered together, we'll get started. I did go ahead and cut my newspaper into some squares. You can see I've got some big squares, some medium, and some small. It's just easier to handle than that big piece of newspaper. So you might want to do the same to your construction paper if you have that, or your scrapbooking paper. Just cut it into smaller, more manageable pieces. I'm going to use some blue. I think I'm gonna save this color for my background. Cut this one. Cut some pink. So you do need to have one piece of construction paper for later. We won't use it right now, but I'm going to put this piece aside for my background. Now I have some pieces cut and ready. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these pieces out that have been already cut, but there's still lots of paper. And like I said, I'm going to start with the newspaper so I can practice, and then once I get better, I'll move to my prettier papers. If all you have is newspaper, you can use that too, and I'll show you how that will turn out in just a minute. So I'm going to start with my square. I'm going to fold it in half. Line up my edges as best I can. So it doesn't have to be a perfect square. You see, I'm just folding it as best I can. I'm going to press this down. And here's my fold. Here's my open side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here on the fold. I'm going to cut a bump, and then I'm going to come back down to this part. Now if I show you what I'm going to cut, it might help you visualize. Here's my fold. I like to show parts with the dots. I got one dot at the top, one dot at the bottom. You start with a bump, and then you go down to that next point. Now once you get really good at cutting hearts out, you won't have to draw them. Hearts are symmetrical on both sides, so if I leave it folded and cut one part of the heart out, when I open it, it will be together and create one heart. So I'm going to start here. And once I get that cut, I end up with a heart, and it's really neat because even the scrap creates a heart. So there's my heart and there's the scrap. So now we can practice cutting some more. Move that to the side. I'm going to fold another one. So here again, here's my fold right here. Here's my open side. Now once I get good at this, I don't have to draw my heart anymore. I can just start cutting. I cut the bump. And I've got my half a heart. When I open it up, I get the whole heart. Now this is a really good skill to have, and this is a really good way to practice your cutting. So please make sure that you do this all by yourself. Your parents can watch, your parents can help you get your materials ready and get started, but I want you to try to do all of this by yourself. If you need help, I'm sure your parents will help you, but try to get to a point where you're able to do this all by yourself without any parent help. So now I'm going to show you something else. I have my heart. I'm going to close it back. So once you learn to cut a heart out, you can go a step further. Cut another heart out. So I have that heart. And that time I made 3 hearts. My hearts can be different sizes, different shapes. Some will be skinny, some will be thick. I can even take 2 pieces, fold them over, because I did 2 pieces, I got 2 hearts. And I did 2 that time. So there's a lot you can do. I want you to try doing this with your different paper, different types of paper. I want you cutting several different hearts, different size hearts, different types. Even cut some little tiny hearts out of these little pieces. While you're cutting different sizes and different shape paper and making different types of hearts, I want you to keep in mind that mistakes are going to happen. If you make a mistake, don't give up. Keep trying. And just because you don't get it right the first time does not mean you won't get it right. You just keep trying different things. And keep in mind that your heart does not have to be perfect. Some are going to be tall and skinny like this one. Some are going to be a little thicker. Some will be shorter. They're all going to turn out a little different. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So don't get frustrated. So once you get a collection of hearts with all the different types of paper, take your background piece of construction paper, and now you can lay them out and arrange them in a pretty way. I like to lay everything out first, decide where I want everything to go. Do I want my paper to be tall? Do I want it to be turned this way, the wide way? You get to turn and change as much as you want. You can have it any way you want. And lay out all your pieces. Once I have them arranged, I can now take my glue stick or my bottle of glue and pick 1 or 2 up at a time. To glue down. Making sure that I press down firmly each heart. So I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, make sure to look up some of our other lessons and subscribe to this channel.